We have cosmological laws, metaphysical laws. Once there is creation, these cosmological laws, a body of permanent laws, they hold good for all times. So there are these 10 powers which man is subjected to, which controls man. And they are represented by the 10 forms of Devi. That's Mahavidya, they are called. Now, unfortunately, we do not have pictures of all the aspects of Devi. But tonight I'm starting with one that we all know, that is Kali Ma. But before we go into any sort of little discussion, I want you to repeat after me the names of these Devis. I shall say it, you say it after me. Kali, Tara, Mahavidya, Shodashi, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinamastacha, Vidya, Dhumavati Tatha, Bagala, Siddhi Vidyacha, Matangi, Kamalatmika, Eta Dash Mahavidya, Siddhi Vidya, Prakirtita. So these are the names. When I say Dash Mahavidya Namani, Nam, 10 names of Dash Mahavidya, which I have related to you time and again. Kali Ma, and briefly I shall mention to you as we go along for tonight. Kali, the power of time. Tara, power of hunger. Shodasi, the power of perfection. 16 is in number of perfection. Shodasi, 10 plus 6, 16, Shodasi Devi. Power of perfection. Bhuvaneshwari, the power of knowledge. Chinamasta, power of sacrifice. Bhairavi, power of death. Dhumavati, power of poverty. Bagalamukhi, power of cruelty. Matangi, power of domination. And Kamla, power of wealth. Now, we have the form of Kali Ma. We see it's black in color. Her tongue is hanging out, garland of human skulls. She has in her hand that head, which I've been telling you is like the beach. There's a bowl collecting that blood. And of course, she has a trishul and a sword and the various emblems that she carries. Now, I will just put to you some straight points that I'm going to take from this book here without any intense elaboration. For when I go and elaborate, people become lost. So I'm trying to keep it very simple. Now, Kal means darkness. Kal also means time. Kali, the E, really is Shakti. Kali takes away that darkness that exists. Kali, the power of time. So Kali takes away Kal, the power of darkness. That Kal incidentally also means death. Kal, which many perceive to be darkness. Kali Ma, she takes away, as we say, the darkness from every individual who strives on the path of perfection. The individual performs spiritual disciplines, various austerities to bring about purification. Now, an analogy is given. We have all the different colors of the spectrum. Forgive me if I don't read. I always get carried away by explaining. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. We have ultraviolet, infrared, the whole spectrum of colors. All the colors mix into black. Yet black remains black. No matter what you put into black, black remains black. If you take the other colors and mix them, you get secondary colors. Now I've told you, red and white give you pink. Secondary colors. But no matter what you mix into black, black remains black. So too Kalima, as we say. She's completely dark, black. Could you know anything that is dark? In that darkness, could you know anything? Kali is unknowable. She is beyond. Unknowable. She takes away all darkness, and yet she herself remains unchanged, as we say. Unchangeable. Kali. Now, from another perspective, Kal means time, E means the cause of time. So Kali is the cause of time. But she's beyond time. All existence has its perception in time. If there is no time, I don't perceive anything. So we see all existence has its perception in time. And therefore the cause of time, who is Kalima, she is beyond time. She activates consciousness. You will see Kalima standing on Shiva. Shiva represents consciousness. It is the power of Kali, or the power of time, which activates the consciousness so that consciousness can perceive. If you notice, we have been saying time and again, you take the E out of Shiva. Take E out, you have Shav. Shav means corpse. That which cannot perceive, which is inert, which is dormant, dead. From our perspective, we say dead. So the E or the Shakti or the Kali is that power that allows consciousness to perceive. As Shiva comes alive, as we say, Kali. Kali is dynamic energy, Shiva potential, non-differentiated, unmoving. So this alone, if you try to perceive, you try to understand this, it's very, very deep. It's very deep. So we are trying to keep it simple, that Kali is dynamism, dynamic. Shiva is more or less static. The substratum, the non-differentiated state. And wherever Shiva acts, it is through Shakti. I was explaining to the Pandits one night come back from Miyagya, Pandit Umesh, I think you were there, Pandit Umaran, that we have 4 modes of communication: Paravani, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikari. Ramayana has Shiva speaks to Goddess Parvati. Who is Goddess Parvati? Shiva is Paravani, that is the substratum, that is the basis of all things, but that's static. But that Shiva becomes dynamic in the form of Shakti. He comes as Parvati. And as Parvati, the dynamic aspect of his nature, he asks questions, and Shiva, he responds. Is actually asking questions of himself. He himself asking questions of himself and answering the questions. They can't have 2, there is only 1. Param Shiva asks questions in Madhyama, in the form of Parvati. But in Param Shiva, in Paravani, he answers these questions. Now it's difficult to simplify this more. I mean, it's difficult. But if you want to go to this kind of level, you have to think plenty on your own also. Alright? So let's get down a bit more down to earth, that what people identify with. What I just spoke about to be considered by many to be abstraction. You have to have a certain level to understand some of that. Well, let's be more concrete. Now she wears a garland of human heads. This garland of human heads actually represent impure thoughts. How did she get this garland of human heads? By worshipping Kali, she severs, as it were, the heads, some call it personalities of the devotees. Let me put it simple. If I worship Kali Ma sincerely, this particular aspect, and I mentioned just now, everything, she absorbs everything. She severs the head of imperfections, negativities from our minds, so to speak. And this is symbolized by the head, which she wears on a garland. In other words, anybody who worships Kali Ma sincerely, you rise beyond impurities. You rise beyond negativities. That is if you worship Kali Ma sincerely. Sincerely. It's strange. She appears to be very, very aggressive, what with sword and blood and everything else. But the devotees who worship Kali Ma, if you really worship sincerely in the way that you're supposed to worship, you become the model of humility, of peace, no aggression. You become very, very calm and peaceful. Strange. Because she takes away the negativities. She takes away the negativities. Can I say then, by extension, that if anybody says they worship Kali Ma and they're very aggressive, they're very violent, that they are not devotees of Kali Ma? They are pretending? I dare say so. Whoever worships Kali Ma, you become very, very peaceful, calm. Because Kali Ma cuts off the head as such of impure thoughts. She cuts down all the conflicting concepts, which the statement says, which debate the various ideologies within the arena of the mind. We're always in conflict. That is for those who dare to go inside. So we always have arguments. Some people put it, the devil and the angel inside arguing. How they put it. But we always have these conflicts in concept. And today's world is worse. Because of the kind of nonsense we are hearing time and again, almost everybody in conflict. This is why you would come and say, why Ganesha drink my milk? Ganesha drink all my milk. This, that, and the other. Conflicting situations in the mind, more confusion, Brahm as we call it. So there are conflicting things in the mind. Different ideologies. What Kali Ma does. When you worship Kali Ma sincerely, she silences this tumultuous roar of mental conflict. This is why the devotee becomes calm when you worship Kali Ma. And if you follow closely what I'm putting to you here, I'm pointing you in a certain direction. I shall explain to you the term I've been using all along. So what happened? Mental conflicts cease within the mind of that individual who worships Kali Ma. And this egoistical attachment that we have, I, it creates anguish within the mind, pain. Kali Ma removes all this. This is what a garland very, very symbolizes. She wears all the devotee's karma as an ornament. You know how active the mind is? Some people have this problem where they talk plenty to themselves, or they believe that they're talking to themselves. Right? They hear voices inside. This is the chattering of their own minds. Chattering of their own minds. And if you ask me, I can tell you, this happens a lot. I can say to me, the amount of things you have to go through in your mind, trying to assimilate, trying to assess,